Hello students. Today in this video, we'll discuss the second chapter of Business Studies of class 12th, Principles of Management. Today in this video, we'll discuss the concept and the nature of principles of management. A managerial principle is a broad and general guideline for decision making and behavior. Now when you talk about management principles, these are basically broad and general guideline for decision making and behavior changes. So with the help of these management principles, it will be easy for the manager to take decision and to make the changes in the behavior of an individual. And basically these management principles are the general guidelines. Means these principles has been propounded by the scholars on the basis of their experience and observation, and on the basis of their experience and observation they have given some general statements, and these general statements are called your general principles. Like for example, while deciding about promotion of an employee, one manager may consider seniority, whereas the other may follow the principle of merit. So, you have to appraise the performance of an individual, and if an individual is doing well in the organization, you can give promotion to that individual. But how you are going to give promotion to that individual, it depends on organization to organization or individual managers to managers. Like in this example, some of the organization may opt for seniority and some may opt for the merit. Now, when you talk about the principles of management are totally distinct from that of the pure science, yes, because management principles are not as rigid as pure science. Because as management principle has to deal with human behavior, and as we know that human behavior keeps on changing from situation to situation, from time to time, from place to place. So what do we have to do? While applying these management principles, we have to modify them according to the need of the individual, according to the need or situation of the hour. Clear? So that's why these management principles are flexible in nature, because they have to deal with human behavior, and they have to apply creativity as per the given situation, as per the demand of the hour. Management principles are basic truths or guidelines for behavior. Yes, these principles are the general truths or guidelines for making change in the behavior of an individual who is working for the organization. Values are general rule for behavior of individual in society formed through common practice, whereas management principles are formed through, or could say, after research in work situation. So these management principles has been formed over a period of time by the scholars by their observation and experiments in the work situations. Now, while practicing management principles, no one can ignore the values, as values are general rules for behavior of an individual in society formed by, or could say, formed through common practice. Yes, while practicing or while using your management principles, values cannot be neglected, as business has have to fulfill social and ethical responsibilities towards the society. So in a nutshell, we can say management principles are the general guidelines or the general statements, clear, which influence the behavior of an individual. And these management principles help the managers to achieve their organizational goals. Now we'll talk about the nature of principles of management. First, universal applicability. Yes, management principles are intended to apply to all types of organization, whether it's business organization, non-business organization, means profit organization or non-profit organization, small organization, large organization, public sector organization or private sector organization, manufacturing, service providing. So you can say in a nutshell that these management principles are universally applicable. However, the extent of their applicability would vary with the nature of the organization, business activity, scale of operation and the like. Yes, the extent of their applicability would vary with the nature of the organization. Clear? If the management, if the organization is very large, then most of the management principle will be applicable to that organization. Whereas in small scale organization, clear, few or less management principles will be applied. Like for example, for greater productivity, work should be divided into small tasks and each employee should be trained to perform his or her specialized job. Yes, when you talk about any organization, whenever we talk of any type of organization, division of work will take place over there. Like in big organization, we have marketing department, sales department, production department, research and development department, planning department, finance department, and so on. So it means what? The complex task has been divided into meaningful tasks, and these meaningful tasks will help to achieve the organizational goal. So you can say the management principles are universal applicable. Second is general guidelines. Yes, these management principles are the general guidelines to action, but do not provide ready-made straight jacket solution to all the managerial problems. Yes, as these management principles has been propounded by the scholars on the basis of their experience, observation in work situation over a period of time, and when they have given the same kind of result, then these management principles has been propounded. And on the basis of their evaluation, these general statements act as a general guideline for the managers to overcome any sort of problems in the organization. So whenever manager used to come in front of any problem, or whenever that manager faces any problem, then he can use these management principles as the general guidelines to solve that particular problem. Like for example, if conflict arises between two workers, so at that moment of time the manager has to look into the organizational interest rather than the personal interest of those individuals. So this is how the management principles act as general guidelines. Formed by practice and experimentation. Yes, management principles are formed by experience and collective wisdom of manager as well as experimentation. For example, it is a matter of common experience that discipline is indispensable for accomplishing any purpose. Yes, when we talk about the next next nature of the principles of management, it is formed by practice and experimentation. Yes, this has been propounded on the basis of the practice and experimentation by the scholars in the work situation over a period of time. Like for example, if you'll see discipline, so you can say discipline is indispensable for accomplishing any purpose. So whenever you want to achieve any target, then discipline must be there. The same way, if we talk about you could say regular work of an individual, definitely that individual is going to get fatigued after a specific period of time. So what do you have to do? You have to give rest to that individual, clear, so that he can regain his energy back and start his working with the same zeal and enthusiasm. So these things has been observed and experienced and practiced by these scholars, and on the basis of this they have propounded these management principles. So you can say in a nutshell, these management principles has been propounded on the basis of practice, clear, observation and experimentation on regular basis. The next is your flexibility. Yes, these management principles are flexible in nature because these management principles are modified by the managers, clear, as per the situation's demands to them. So the manager have enough discretion to do so. For example, the degree of concentration of authority, that is centralization, or its disposal, means decentralization, will depend upon the situations and circumstances of each enterprise. As we have the one of the principle centralization and decentralization. Centralization means how much power, or when the power is being retained basically by few individuals in the organization, that's known to centralization. And when it's being dispersed in the whole organization, it's known to be decentralization. Means when you give the powers to the departmental heads to take their decisions in their respective fields, then it's called decentralization. Now, how flexibility is there? Means it depends on the nature and the size of the organization to what extent they want to have centralization or the concentration of power, or its dispersal, means decentralization. Clear? So in case of large enterprises, clear, alone centralization cannot be functional. So they have to disperse their powers. So decentralization is being required over there. Whereas in case of small scale organization, clear, where you don't have that much capacity of the business, so you can concentrate the power in the hands of few individuals. So you can go for centralization. So this is called flexibility. So it depends on the business to what extent you are going to utilize these management principles. So this is called flexibility. The next is your mainly behavioral. Yes, management principles are basically to influence the behavior of human beings. Therefore, management principles are mainly behavioral in nature. Clear? So, whenever we apply these management principles, these are basically applied to change or to make change in the behavior of an individual. Clear? Like, if you talk about planning the layout of a factory, orderliness would require that workflows are matched by the flow of materials and movement of men. Yes, clear? When you talk about orderliness, so when you talk about orderliness, it should be in respect of the human resources as well as in terms of your material resources, so that human resources get enough place to work freely, and whenever they want any raw material, they can find it easily. So in a nutshell, you can say these management principles are basically behavioral in nature. The next is your cause and effect relationship. The principles of management are intended to establish relationship between cause and effect so that they can be used in similar situation in a large number of cases. Yes, the next feature of management principle is cause and effect relationship. The principles of management are intended to establish relationship between cause and effect. So there is a cause as well as the effect of the same, so that they can be used in similar situation in large number of cases. Like for example, if we talk about a given situation, clear, so we know that whenever we will come across with this kind of problem, so this principle can be utilized over there and you will have the effect of using that principle like this. So this is called cause and effect relationship. Like for example, if your workers are not working with full art or they are not giving their 100% to the organization, so what could be the reason? There may be a number of reasons. Like for example, if they are not satisfied with their salary, so the principle of fair remuneration can be applied over there, and after providing them fair remuneration, you can find the change in them, that now they have started working with their full potential. So the cause is what? They are not satisfied with the salary. Clear? Now when you applied the principle of fair remuneration to them, then you see the effect that now they are working with their full potential. So this is what cause and effect relationship. So the management principles always establish cause and effect relationship in the organization. Clear? In real life, situations are not identical, so accurate cause and effect relation may be difficult to establish. Yes, because when we talk about the real situation, clear, in real situation you may find somewhat different in your cause and effect relationship, because when you apply the same in your organization, you find different individuals with their different backgrounds, with their different needs, with their different desires. So sometime it may happen that you will not find the same kind of response by that particular management principle. So this is what is being said. So accurate cause and effect relationship may be difficult to establish. The next feature is contingent. Yes, the management principles are contingent in nature because it depends upon the prevailing situation at a particular point of time. The application of principles has to be changed as per the requirement. For example, employees deserves fair and just remuneration, but what is just and fair is determined by multiple factors. They include contribution of the employee, paying capacity of the employer, and also prevailing wage rate for the occupation under consideration. Now, when you talk about contingent, yes, whenever we apply these management principles, clear, you are going to get the result in future. Are you going to get the same kind result what you have desired, or somewhat different results will be there? So it depends on the future aspect. That's why it's called to be contingent in nature. Like for example, your employees are asking for fair and just remuneration. Clear? Now, what is just and fair is determined by multiple factors. Like for example, for me, clear, as an employee, rupees 100 is fair remuneration. But if I'm not contributing that much, if I'm not contributing as per the standard of 100 rupees, so the organization is not going to pay me 100 rupees. So from my point of view, as an employee, 100 rupees are fair and just remuneration. But looking into your potential, looking into your contribution, the organization is thinking that rupees 80 is fair and just remuneration. Clear? So it depends upon the contribution of the employee, paying capacity of the employer. Clear? In many organizations, you would have listened or you would have heard that they are providing crores of rupees as salary package, whereas some of the organization giving lakhs of rupees as salary package, some of them giving thousands rupees as salary package. So what is that? It means it depends on the paying capacity of the employer, and according to the paying capacity you will find different fair and just remuneration, and also the prevailing wage rate for the occupation under consideration. So there are many multiple factors which are going to decide about the application of these management principles. So these are the different principles of management. You would say the nature of management principles. Hope you will like this video. Thank you.